Hey, good morning. Chuck here with Apple Drains. Today, let's take a look at accessories that all these companies are trying to sell you, but you don't really need them. They have nothing to do with how that downspout drain works, French drain, yard drain, catch basins. Take a look. So this is a leaf catcher, and you can see there's many different types available. They're available at Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace, Menards, all over the place. And it just rained, so you can see it caught a few leaves. But if it catches too many leaves, what happens? No water gets into that system. So what good is it really? Once this thing fills up with leaves, yeah, you could come out and clean it, but before you do, all that water ends up just spilling out, and it ends up in your basement or your crawl space or under the foundation of your home. Too many contractors are getting bad advice and buying these things, trying to sell them to you. They are not needed to make your drain function better. This is called a distribution box, and you can cut an inlet. You see the circles on the side. You can cut an inlet and an outlet at any depth you want. Several other channels are using this to collect the shingle debris that comes off of the roof. And, it's not what it's for. And it's really, we call it the dumb box, because when we find these, we have to dig them up and actually clean out that box every time. When you run the drain cleaning cable down through the downspout drain, what happens is it gets down in this box and it gets all tangled up and bound up. It forces us to have to dig this up, open it up, and clean it out. I've even seen some channels that say they can get more slope to the drain when you put a distribution box in. That's one of the silliest things I've ever heard. If you're going to use a distribution box, please get one that has a grate on the top. This way it will act as a catch basin and collect that immediate surface water that pools on the ground. And then there's that contractor that says, we need to put this big 12 by 12 catch basin in here to collect the water. But you really only need a 6 by 6. The outlet of both of those basins is exactly the same, 3.5 inch. The only difference is the cost. This 12 by 12, $100, the 6 by 6, $15. But they work exactly the same. So save yourself some money and get that French drain, downspout drain in there without spending a fortune. Yeah, sometimes you can add those on, but don't let a contractor try to sell you something that you don't. Okay, now we have a great trench. It's at the proper depth. Let's build a French drain. Let's take a look at how a French drain works. This is a fabric wrap French drain. That means it has a geotextile that encases not only the pipe, but the gravel also. French drain is basically perforated pipe surrounded by gravel, and it's used to collect the subsurface water that's underground. So if you've got an area in your yard that holds water, perhaps the French drain is what you need. You may also need a catch basin, and the catch basin is used to collect that immediate surface water that stands on top of the ground. In this video, we will put together two different systems. One is using perforated corrugated pipe, and the other is using perforated PVC. We will also add a GoPro down in the pipe so you can see how the system actually works. Let's start with the corrugated pipe. We're going to be using 4-inch corrugated pipe. It's perforated and it's slotted. That means it has holes all the way around the pipe. So you dig that trench and you lay out your fabric. We need to add a base of stone. This is very important. This goes under the pipe. Next we'll lay the pipe, and then we'll go ahead and cover all of that with more stone, more gravel. The gravel is important also. Try to use 3/4 inch to 1.5 inch stone. The best stone is number 67, and that is crushed, washed gravel. Next we go ahead and lay the fabric back across the gravel. Cut it, trim it, and then pin it so it stays secure. Then finally, we'll go ahead and add our sod. If you cut sod off, we're going to put the sod back on the top, and we're ready to go ahead and test this French drain. Okay, so we've laid the sod back,
and I left a piece of it exposed down here so you can see it. I also have a light inside that slotted corrugated pipe, so it's perforated, has slots all the way around it, and I put a light inside there. So let's go ahead and see what happens when we add the rainfall.
During a rainfall event, water rises in your trench and it comes through at the bottom of the pipe. That's why there's a base of gravel underneath. Well, as the groundwater rises, it comes through the voids of the gravel, floods up into the pipe, and the pipe carries this away. This is called a French drain. This is corrugated pipe, and it's slotted. That means that there's holes cut all the way around the pipe. If you're going to wrap your French drain with a geofabric, I strongly suggest that you try this Stay Green. It's available at Lowe's, Home Depot, Menards, Ace, almost any hardware store. You might watch a lot of videos talking about 4-ounce, 8-ounce, double punched, all these things. Well, that's very expensive fabric. You know, I was never a believer in fabric until I found this Stay Green. I always found that the fabric actually slowed down the inflow of water into your system. And I have several videos showing you how slow the French drain works using this double punched 4-ounce or 6-8-ounce fabric.
Hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains, reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. Have a great day. So, I've told everybody you can do this yourself. You see, we've got one of our female crew members out here to show you how to do this.